Hey guys, in this month's Disney Rewind, we're going to be talking about Season 1 of Ahsoka. So, before we head into our thoughts and feelings on Season 1 of Ahsoka, a quick disclaimer, we are definitely going to be having spoilers about this show. The movies are up for grabs. The cartoon series are up for grabs as far as spoilers go, so if you just are not caught up with anything, you might want to steer clear and come back at a later point. So, Stephanie, how did you feel about Ahsoka?
I enjoyed it. I think, though, I had maybe too many expectations for it, in terms of, like, characters or what characters we're going to do.
Yes.
But overall, I really enjoyed it. I liked the way everybody was portrayed, character-wise. Cinematography was awesome, and soundtrack and stuff. So yeah, I liked every aspect of the show.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. It's not totally perfect. I think there were a few little issues in there, but for the most part, I did like it. Yeah, I think I had a lot of high expectations.
Yeah.
But it was fine. It's like how I felt about Obi-Wan. Because I had a lot of high expectations for Obi-Wan, and it kind of didn't entirely do what I was wanting it to do, but I still enjoyed it. So it's kind of the same how I feel about Ahsoka. I'm enjoying what I got. Even though I kind of wanted other things, it was fine.
I just love the campiness of it all. Is that like the right?
I feel like it got rather campy, like, because what was the Anakin episode with her and Anakin? That was episode 4.
I'm not good with keeping track of.
God, what episode was that? Pretty much, because I feel like it was really like moody and serious, all the way up to when Ahsoka was having all those visions with Anakin or whatever. Like it was really moody and dark and serious. And then I feel like after that, that's when it got a little campy and like silly, and it was playing up a lot more of the humor. Like especially once I got to that planet where the Night Sisters, right? The Night Sisters. Once I got to that planet, it feels like it got really funny. Then like it's just some of the humor. And yeah, plus like they had a bunch of like new interesting creatures pop up, and like then it really felt like kind of traditional Star Wars almost, like with creatures, people, funniness.
Yeah. Because we know the Rebels crew is, kind of more chill and has that like just crazy bond and stuff. So yeah, it started feeling more like Rebels, like halfway through.
Now, how did you feel this show did as far as like just some everyday normal Joe Schmo who's never watched all the material that goes before this? How did you feel they handled things like that, like just some average person just walking into this? Is it possible?
Well, the thing is, they talk about things that even we don't know about, with Sabine being trained by Ahsoka, So, like, then you have things where normal viewers are like, huh?
About? Ahsoka never trained Sabine in, like, Rebels, right?
No.
Because I thought that was Kanan.
No, well, I guess what they were saying was that later on, Ahsoka trained her, but, that wasn't a Rebels thing. I don't know, it's like, you can watch it, but, like, I feel like you don't get that connection with Ahsoka, especially if you've not watched Rebels, and especially if you've not watched Clone Wars, and especially like the last season of Clone Wars where she was really going through more stuff. So
like I feel like, because I watched Rebels, so I was familiar like with Ezra's story and Sabine's story and Hera's story, I was familiar with all that. So the Clone Wars side of stuff, I have never seen Clone Wars, so my only knowledge of Clone Wars is if she kind of recaps me on something, or like I watch a lot of channels that do like recaps of stuff, and they talk about Star Wars canon and other shows. So a lot of my information of Clone Wars comes from either you, or I watch videos where people are kind of recapping stuff. Because like Ahsoka, Ahsoka's a really deep character. There's a lot of lore with Ahsoka's character, and I feel like this show, it just jumps right into Ahsoka, And nothing about her is explained. It's like, it's almost expected, like, you need to know who Ahsoka is. We're not going to sit here and explain who Ahsoka is and her backstory and her traumas and everything with Anakin. You know, this show has no intention of going into any of that.
And yet how her feelings are towards just
like the Jedi Order.
The Jedi Order and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I know she was kicked out, right? Or no, she left because they blamed her for something.
Yes.
That's what I know from watching videos. I know something went down, she was blamed for something, she was pissed, and she left. But yeah, does the show explain any of that to you? No. You know, it's like you kind of have to just look into it, you know? So I feel like, it's like there's a part of me, I enjoyed the show for what it was, but yeah, I feel like just an average person, I feel bad for average people watching this, like, I don't understand what the hell's going on.
Because I would see on the other sides...
Like, especially on the character side of things. Like, plot-wise, I think you can follow the plot.
Yeah.
But character-wise, I think these characters...
Character-wise, Ahsoka's kind of dull.
I think
if you don't know... Yeah. I mean, I don't mean that in a horrible way. Yeah, but if you don't know nothing about Ahsoka, her character almost kind of seems bland in a way in this show. And because you don't know what she's been through.
Yeah, and we know what a good character she is. And yet she kind of falls flat. A good example that I can compare this to, you know, when we were watching Hawkeye, I'm going to have very mild Hawkeye spoilers here. When we were watching Hawkeye, and Kingpin popped up in, that final episode? And I was so overjoyed and excited to see Kingpin.
I didn't give a crap.
And Stephanie, because I had seen the Netflix Daredevil shows. Stephanie over here had never seen the Netflix Daredevil shows, and here I was going on and on about how I loved Kingpin, what a great, fantastic villain he was, because he's a badass. And Stephanie was just totally unimpressed with this guy. and I was even kind of let down, because I know what a great villain Kingpin is, and the show just did not give him any sort of justice. It's like he's just kind of there, and he falls flat, and he just seems really mustache twirling. And Stephanie didn't care about Kingpin popping up on Hawkeye, you know? So I feel like it's the same with this show. Every single character that comes from either Clone Wars or Rebels, everybody kind of falls flat, unfortunately, and not very interesting. And they're only interesting to us because we know their backstory.
And I could see...
Like. Does that make sense?
I could see somebody, like, looking at Sabine and being like, oh, God, she's annoying. You know? Like, what's her deal? Yeah. I can see if, judging just from the show, if you don't watch Rebels, I could see you viewing her as just kind of annoying and whatnot. And, but yeah, because I would see on other sites stuff about, here's the top Clone Wars and Rebels episodes you should watch in order to kind of
comprehend what you're watching.
Ahsoka.
Yep.
At least just her character.
Yeah.
They weren't really focusing on episodes that would help you with other characters.
Yeah.
But just mainly since it's Ahsoka, they were just saying, here's these episodes that we think you should watch to understand her if you don't know who she is.
Should this show have even been called Ahsoka? Because I almost feel like they were trying to capitalize off the popularity of her character.
Because that would draw people in.
Draw them in. Because, I mean, there was a couple...
And also with Mandalorian. If people watch Mandalorian then they didn't watch Clone Wars or Rebels, they'd be like, oh, I saw her in Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So that helps them draw those people in.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have minded if the show was just called Rebels. The series. You know, Rebels the series.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a better thing, because it's obviously going to branch out more than just Ahsoka.
Yeah. So before we head into character stuff, just the overall plot of this story. We're taking place however many years after the events of Rebels, and Ahsoka is walking back into Sabine's life, this and that, and they're getting information that they think they can find Ezra, who has been missing for quite a while. But it also means that Grand Admiral Thrawn might be coming back too, which is not good. So we've got a lot of drama and angst going on. So as far as the plot goes, how did you feel about the overall general plot? Good plot? Good plot? Bad plot? More? Did you need more?
No, I don't require a lot. I don't know about other people. But for me, I don't require a lot. I think just a basic, simple plot was fine for me. Because we don't have to go crazy all the time with things. So I like that it was pretty much straightforward. This is what we're doing and this is the plan.
Yep.
and stuff.
I almost wish this show had been 10 episodes, because it was only 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wish this show had maybe been 10 episodes. Kind of give us a bit more there, so we can spend the characters. And kind of flesh out the plot a little bit more. Because I feel like those first 3 episodes, I think it was those first 3, before the Anakin episode.
Yeah.
Those first 3...
It's kind of like, where are we going?
Yeah, those first 3...
It took too long.
Yeah, those first 3 episodes felt really dragged out. And not that I disliked them, necessarily. Mm-hmm. They just felt really dragged out, and they were trying to build up and establish the characters and their relationships, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But it felt very drawn out to the point of like, well, what's going to happen here? And once again, that 4th episode, I believe, was the Anakin episode. That's the halfway point of this show.
Mm-hmm. Then
the final 4 episodes, it feels like they kind of just rushed through a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like the stuff that we were really looking forward to. Mm-hmm. You know? So yeah, I almost wish this show had maybe been 10 episodes to kind of build up stuff a little bit more, maybe kind of throw in just a tiny bit more, because I mean, even Hera, I was really looking forward to a lot more of Hera, and like her whole plot is just kind of tedious to me, almost, because she's dealing with the political side of things, mm-hmm. you know, and the stupidity of the Star Wars government. Whatever, what is it, the New Republic or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever they are. So she's dealing with that whole side of things. And it's like, I don't know, I just wanted the show to do, I don't know, more, I guess. It's like, because you have, or maybe there's just too much going on. I don't know how I felt. Because you have like the political things going on over here. And then you got all this stuff over here and all that over there. And it's like, good God.
I said it was a basic plot, but yeah, there were some side plots that it's like they started. Mm-hmm. They don't want to finish it in this first season. Yeah. And they're going on into further seasons or wherever they want to take it. Yeah. So like some of that stuff, the disappointing part is they're interesting, mm-hmm. but there's not enough of it.
Yeah,
of these subplots. Yeah. And now you're having to wait for a whole another season.
I guess we can start heading to character stuff, because that plot stuff is also kind of getting me into like characters like Ray Stevenson's character and the chick with the short blonde hair. What's her name? Hottie?
Something.
Hottie?
Something.
Whatever that girl's name was.
I wasn't good with both their names.
I was totally intrigued with that plot. Yeah. Because they set up a lot of like mystery and intrigue there. Like, who are these two? What's going on? What's their baggage? What's their drama? You know? And the show just totally neglects their story. Mm-hmm. Like, they're just there to simply be the bad guys with hints of complication there. And it's like, I want to dig into that complication, because I think there's some good stuff going on there. You know? And because the show's called Ahsoka, you know, it's like we're trying to advance that story and getting Ezra back and getting Thrawn back into the whole thing. And then, Ray Stevenson's character and the other girl, they kind of just fall to the wayside. And it's like, oh, we have hints of intrigue here, but we're not going to deal with it this season, which I think is just bad writing. You know?
It's just like, let's start it.
Yeah. And now, unfortunately, we were talking about this because it seems like Ray Stevenson's character is a very pivotal character, because it just
super interesting.
Yeah, he's
in the middle.
Yeah, I really liked his character. I found him really interesting, even though they did nothing with him. I still found him really interesting and compelling, because there's just Ray Stevenson just gave him just this enigma to him. Like, there's something interesting going on there, you know? And so now, with him, he died, Ray Stevenson really died, in real life. Now it's like, well, it seems like he has such a fascinating story there, so mm-hmm. what are they going to do with that story exactly? Because is he going to be recast? Because it seems like he's important and pivotal. He's on that planet too, with Ahsoka and crew. And you know, like, and it almost seems like he's going to have something like, hey, I know how to get off this planet, you know?
What was interesting, like, the whole stuff with him and Sabine, mm-hmm. and him making a deal. When do you ever see the bad person on Star Wars really making that kind of deal where they're not gonna hurt you? And like, he legit like stuck to his word, and everybody else was confused about that, about why was he sticking to his word of letting her see Ezra.
Even though he was a bad guy, I don't think he was like a villain.
No.
Because it seemed like he was just fed up with the Jedi Order and how things played out. It
seemed like thought the Empire probably was dumb.
Yeah. It seemed like he knew Anakin at some point. It seemed like he was just fed up with a lot of political background stuff, you know, and it's like, I'm going to go off and do my own thing, even if that means bringing Thrawn back. Mm-hmm. You know, like, that's the better of the two evils.
Or he was just tagging along.
Yeah.
To go do whatever
like, he kind of, it seems like he was on the side of Thrawn is the better of two evils if it gets order back into our universe. You know? So it's like, that's all interesting. And it's like, I wish they kind of did more with that, you know? Mm-hmm. Uh,
And then the girl.
and he left her. See,
And then she found like those raiders or whoever.
So it's like, I think there's some really good potential for some more background stuff to go on, because, I mean, how long have they been Master and Apprentice? And then, he just straight up abandoned her there. How does she feel? I mean, she hardly ever spoke, I don't know. I just feel like the show just left so much out, and I almost don't even have hope for a season 2 to even kind of resolve and fix any of kind of these lingering threads and questions that we have, Because it seems like they would have to dive right into whatever, Anything else to say about Ray Stevenson and that chick, his apprentice? I did like them. I think, as far as like kind of random side characters, I think they were easily my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even sometimes more so than main people. Like main people. Sometimes I was like, God, girl, why are you doing that? Okay, Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. We've kind of been talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, she sometimes comes across as a bit bland and boring, because that's just the writing. It's not so much her. She's just working with what she's given. But it's like, I think she definitely knows the character. It seems like she loves the character and knows the character. It's just the writing's not doing anything for her. I liked Ahsoka this season in general. I think easily the best episode was that episode with her and Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
Easily the best episode. I love that. It's like, we needed more of that. We needed more episodes like that. Like that intensity and drama, And really just, it was a really big character.
Well, I feel like
was character.
For her character, it got better once that episode appeared. But then, because then that was when she also...
Yeah.
She changed her whole style, because she was changing...
Yeah.
She changed herself, essentially. Mm-hmm. So then, like, her personality was different afterwards.
And I need to give a shout out to that Anakin episode, because whoever was in charge of editing that episode,
probably like one of the best edited Star Wars things
that
ever.
That was just one of the best edited moments of Star Wars television. And whoever edited that episode, whenever it comes around to like award season, like the Emmys and stuff, because individual episodes get nominated for like editing and stuff. I really hope that episode gets nominated and wins, because that was amazing editing in that episode. Like, it was just so noticeable, and like, wow, oh my god. But yeah, Hayden Christensen come back, yay. Yay. We are prequel lovers, okay? Yes, the prequels are not perfect. We know that. They're not totally perfect, but we love them. And yeah, we love Hayden Christensen, as bad as his acting is. But oh my god, he was so good in this, though. It's like redemption for Hayden. Because even Obi-Wan, we were so frustrated with Obi-Wan.
Because they didn't give him a lot.
They didn't do anything with him. Like, they were terrified if he spoke, it was going to ruin everything. So I'm so glad that Ahsoka kind of gave Hayden like proper redemption.
That's so funny that he's in this so much.
Yeah.
Compared to Obi-Wan.
I saw people saying that the ending of the final episode was cheesy when he popped up there. I didn't think that was cheesy.
I didn't think so.
I was like, oh, like, because Sabine could sense, she could sense something, but Ahsoka could see Anakin was there.
I think the reason for that too, maybe I'm just making crap up. I think the reason for that too is because Ahsoka at the end said they're where they're meant to be, for whatever purpose.
What does that mean?
They're where they're meant to be
forever.
And so that's like that's why there was that whole episode, because Ahsoka's just been so
lost.
Well, yeah,
lost and broken and damaged.
Yeah, and
after everything that went down.
And I think now she's, after that episode, then she changed her whole perspective on everything. And I think him showing up like that, he was smiling like you defeated yourself. That side of you that I was telling you about, during that one episode. Yeah, and I think that was his reason for showing up, because it was like, he was there to be like, good job.
I do want to touch on the fight sequences with Ahsoka really quickly. God bless Rosario Dawson. Rosario Dawson is a great actress and she's great as Ahsoka, but I think she's a little weak on the fighting side of things. It's still fine, but sometimes it seems a little slow. I think, and it seems like it's calculated, like she's trying to hit the beats of the choreography.
If animated Ahsoka did not exist, it would be fine. I think where the problem comes in is animated Ahsoka. Yeah, know what her fighting style is. She's crazy.
Because I think
at fighting. So
I really noticed, I think, her weakness in choreography. especially with that Anakin episode and the little girl who was playing like younger Ahsoka, that girl's a badass. Oh
Yeah.
my god, she was great. It's like, oh man, Rosario Dawson girl. Yeah, not that it's horrible, but it is kind of noticeable, I think, because she doesn't have that speed, you know. And then it doesn't help. Then when, like those fight sequences she has with Ray Stevenson, it doesn't help because he's a big dude. He is a massive dude, and he has always had experience with like fighting with weapons and stuff, you know, and he's used to that sort of thing, and he knows how to use his body to wield those weapons. And yeah. She is too small. She's kind of small, and then it becomes very noticeable. You know, it's like she's supposed to be one of the best Jedi or whatever. You know, so it should show that she could best.
It's like after watching like animated Star Wars, it's so hard to watch live action Star Wars sometimes.
Yeah,
because you can do whatever the heck you want with
cartoons
and animated.
It looks great.
It looks amazing because you're like, whoa.
Yeah,
but yeah, the only
they jump all the way up to that roof. Yay!
Really, the only live action Star Wars fight that can't be topped is Anakin and Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, it's like one of the best action sequences.
There's never going to be a live action. If you hate it, you have to, even if you hate the movie, you have to admit that is the best lightsaber battle of all movies.
Anakin and Obi-Wan. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith.
And so yeah, it's like,
well, I do love me the Darth Maul one from Phantom of the Menace.
Oh well, that too. But yeah, you'll never probably get fighting like that again in Star Wars.
Because even Rey and Kylo Ren, it's like Adam Driver is fantastic, but Rey's a little weaker, you know.
Yeah, it's hard.
Once again, it's that body difference. He's a big guy, and she's tiny, and it's not working with the choreography. Sabine. Let's talk about Sabine. I was devastated when she cut that hair. I like that long hair.
I love it because I love that there was more color. You know. I
don't know. I just wasn't digging the short hair that much. In the cartoon, it works. I don't know. I just wasn't digging it.
Like I'm cool with it in the cartoon.
But yeah, I like Sabine fine. Once again, if you don't have all that lore and backstory with Sabine, you're not going to get her.
Yeah.
You know, and she's such a rich, complex character in the cartoon. I don't think she gets that in the show, unfortunately.
And how many times did her mom get confused because she was like, "Why is she wearing Mandalorian?" And we had to say because she's a Mandalorian.
We were watching the show with our mother, and she couldn't comprehend that Sabine was a Mandalorian because our mother thinks the Mandalorian is Pedro Pascal. like the Mandalore is a place, you know, and a people. Oh dear God. I was thinking about something with Sabine. Now I don't remember. You distracted me about that. But yeah, Sabine was fine. Yeah, I mean, I'm still just struggling with trying to comprehend her relationship with Ahsoka because I feel like there's a gap there. Once again,
yeah. Kanan
trained her, right?
Well, and so he really didn't train her necessarily. It was just I think he was just training her to wield it in case, like, somebody was like, "I want that power, and this is how to do that."
Yeah,
so
he
wasn't training her as if she were a Jedi.
Yeah.
He was training her. No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He wasn't training her as if she was a Jedi, just as if she was just using a normal sword.
Because she was using the Darksaber.
Whereas Ahsoka sounds like she was training her as if she were
as
a
Jedi. Yeah. So it's like I'm just really kind of confused about that.
I feel like if we knew more about that, it would make their relationship more interesting in the show.
They never spent time together in the cartoon, did they? Am I missing something? Am I forgetting something?
I don't think separately.
Because
I remember.
when I think of Ahsoka, I don't associate her being with Sabine. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like there's something missing.
Because she was usually, I think, just kind of with Kanan and Ezra.
Yeah. Hera. I thought Hera looked great.
Hera looked amazing.
I saw people complaining that they didn't think her makeup was good, like compared to Rosario Dawson's makeup.
Hera looked fantastic.
I didn't think there was anything distracting about her makeup.
No.
I thought it looked great. She looked great.
Yeah.
She looked like Hera.
She did. Her whole, like, demeanor was very Hera-like.
I mean, yeah, really I wish they could have done more with her. I would have loved to see more, or just completely take Hera out. I don't know if that was kind of a thing, like, just
they
too
just
much.
Put her in there.
Yeah, like, there's just too much kind of going on in the show. Maybe they could have just omitted Hera and brought Hera in another way somewhere else. you know, to make her more appealing.
I'm
I guess.
still happy to see her.
Yeah, I'm still excited to see her. And little Jason.
I was thrilled. I don't know why. I was so thrilled seeing the little Jason.
You know, I had bizarre high expectations. I was like, oh, maybe Freddie Prinze Jr. is just gonna pop up randomly, you guys, as Kanan, dead Kanan. You know, ghost Kanan. Ghost Kanan. You know how Anakin just kept popping up. I was like, oh, maybe Freddie Prinze Jr. I was wrong. I mean, Freddie Prinze Jr. still looks great. And he's like in his 40s, and he still looks great.
And I wanted that moment between Ezra meeting Jason, because he doesn't know. Okay. He's the only Rebels member who doesn't know about Jason, so I feel like that would be a cute
interaction. Let's talk about Ezra. I need to get out Ezra. I don't know how to feel about Ezra.
Is it because he was beardy?
He's a grown man. He's beardy. Last time we saw him, he's like a boy. He's a boy with no beard. I'm a little conflicted. He looked like he stepped out of a casting call for Aladdin, like another live action Aladdin. Seriously. I don't know how. I mean, he was just a desert dweller living with those turtle people.
He embraced his Kenobi side of things.
He was just, I don't know, Ezra was just too chill and relaxed for me.
To have been, well, I mean,
living out there with the turtle people, you know.
I guess.
I mean, and I feel like there's just so much missing there. I mean, what happened after the whole throne thing with him?
Like, how did he separate himself?
Yeah, I mean,
did the Purrgil save him?
Yeah, I mean, nothing.
Eat him and take him
nothing
away.
is explained about, you know. I mean, it's like we know he's been there. He says, "Oh, I've been here," you know, with the turtle people.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's it. That's as far as it goes. And you know, I did not really like the reunions. You know,
it was kind of like, oh hey,
for a group of characters who were so tightly bonded in that cartoon, none of these characters seem particularly excited to see each other again. Even though they keep telling us they're excited, you know, it's one of those cases of they're telling us, but they're not showing us that they're.
Those first few episodes, Sabine is moody as crap because all she wants is Ezra.
Because her motivations all of her motives are all about Ezra. You know, that's why she doesn't smash that little bowl thingy, the map thingy. You know,
and then they meet, and she's just like, "Hey, bro,"
because Ray Stevenson knows that he's manipulating her. You know, he's like, "Oh, I know you want Ezra back. Don't smash the ball thing." You know, so yeah, it's like for a button, no, like. Even Ahsoka, she's like, "Hey Ezra, what's up?" You know, like, "Hey, long time no see." Like, I wanted tears, anger. I don't know,
running into the arms of each other.
I mean, I think the casting for Ezra is great, but I don't know, just something about his overall look. I don't know. I was a little conflicted about him.
Maybe once.
He
looked normal in in the hologram.
Yeah, because that was supposed to be him younger.
So
because that would have been Sabine's last message of him with him as a younger man.
So like if after, you know, season 2 or wherever the heck this is all leading to, once he gets a haircut and shaves, it'll be more Ezra like.
Have we covered all the good characters before we move into the villains?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know we jumped, because we started with Ray Stevenson first and What's Her Face, because that was part of, because I was trying to talk about plot with that, so I kind of threw them there at the beginning. Let's move into villains. Who do you, just start with whoever you want, because we have the Night Sisters, we have that Morgan lady, we have Thrawn, we have the Undead Army. Were they undead? I'm still a little confused if they were an undead army. They turned into an undead army.
I guess they were. See, my theory was, okay, since we're on there, I thought they were already dead.
I did too.
Because I was thinking there's no way Thrawn can supply that much resources to people unless in this galaxy there's some other planets they've been hopping to.
Yeah, I thought.
But I thought they were already dead, especially when the Night Sisters showed up.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, they're definitely already dead.
I was under the impression they were already dead, but no, they weren't, because then they got dead.
They got deaded.
They got deaded, more deaded.
Because like their whole uniforms were just so bonkers.
Because I think
they were just so ruined.
They went through some shit going through the Purrgil whole thing, you know. So I think it's supposed to be their armor was like just messed up.
So I already thought they were dead, but somehow, no, they weren't.
You know, they all were they're wearing white and they're all kind of cruddy looking. But somehow Thrawn
like, has. I'm the only one who can use the dry cleaner.
Somehow he has a dry cleaner and a laundromat or something. I don't know. I did really like the return of Morgan. I liked how, she was brought up in Mandalorian. I like how they brought her back into the equation. I did feel kind of bad when she died there at the end.
Yeah.
because I mean, she was so gung ho for the cause.
Yeah.
You know, and she was willing. She had to sacrifice. It's like she knew she had to sacrifice something. She was willing to do that. But it's like I felt kind of bad for her because I don't know how much of that was Thrawn kind of manipulating her, getting into her head. You know,
the other Night Sisters, they just didn't give a crap.
No, they didn't. No,
I was like, dang.
Yeah, I liked the look of the Night Sisters. That was cool. Because Night Sisters,
and that was a surprise to see them.
Yeah, I like the Night Sisters. Yeah, there needs to be a whole show for the Night Sisters. There's like a whole that'd be great. Oh, because they're so weird and creepy.
I think that too. Like, I think people watching this are like, wait, there's witches in Star Wars.
They exist.
You know, like, wait, I thought this was just about Jedi and like some normal people and villains. And wait, now we got witches.
Okay, so Thrawn. The whole show builds up to Thrawn. I really enjoyed Thrawn. I would have liked more. Because it's like he just kind of stands there the whole time being cryptic. Like, yes, we're going to go do this. And I'm going to speak like it really low.
It was awesome to have an actual voice actor to come back and play the real character. I like that better than... And I think he looked like Thrawn.
I personally liked Lars Mikkelsen.
That was a great joy.
Yeah, I personally liked Lars Mikkelsen. Because at least it's like he knew who the character was. It's like, you know, sometimes actors come in and are like, I don't know who the hell I'm playing. It's like he knew who the character was.
Even though he just was the voice, he knew how to stand and present himself and stuff. So,
yeah, I really liked him. So, okay, so Thrawn left that planet with the Night Sisters, and Ezra got on board. So
wait, so how did? Oh, he that's why he's in the stormtrooper outfit.
Yeah, because he must have knocked somebody out and took out an escape pod or something. So okay, so is there a season 2 of this show, or is what's going to happen with Thrawn, Ezra, Hera? Is that all is that going towards season 3 of The Mandalorian?
I'm just confused with Star Wars shows and where they're all leading to, if they're leading to something else.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take it 1 year at a time.
Yeah. I'm just really curious what the end game is here, the plan, because I really just don't want another spin-off show. I much rather... There's so many freaking characters. I would like... Because if there was a season 2 of Ahsoka, it seems like Ahsoka, Sabine, all those characters, it seems like they're stuck on that planet. I don't know if it's permanent. It almost seems like it's permanent. So I don't know if there is another season.
There's something there on that planet.
Yeah,
there's something there.
There's something there. So I don't know if a season 2 of Ahsoka is strictly Ahsoka and what's on that planet, you know. And then in the meantime, Thrawn, because I just don't see how a season 2 of Ahsoka would tie in all of that. It seems kind of jarring, you know, to me. So I feel like because you got to have Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda is the moneymaker. To me, what I would do if I was thinking big money for Disney, I would put Thrawn over in Mandalorian season 3 because they've already kind of brought up Thrawn in Mandalorian anyway. And because it seems like this whole Star Wars franchise is trying to build up to how the hell we get to the First Order. You know, how we get to the First Order and Snoke and all this. That's what I think anyway. So I feel like Thrawn is this middle between thing. Like how it ultimately gets to the First Order somehow. But he'll have to get killed at some point in order for that to happen, you know? So I just think they need to use their resources, and instead of giving us yet another spin-off show, use what you already have, carry Thrawn over into Mandalorian 3, and let Mando deal with it. Because they already got rid of Moff Gideon, you know? And we need more Baby Yoda stuff. And yeah, the whole Mandalore situation has been dealt with, so we don't have to bring in any of the Mandalorians.
There's probably some crazy temple on that planet with Ahsoka.
Probably.
And
because I bet Ray Stevenson knows.
There's like so much stuff about Jedi Fallen Order, the video game, and the Zepho people. So there's a lot of speculation about, is there some kind of tie with some of that stuff from the game that's going to be leading into that. So there's probably some crazy temple that's going to somehow portal them over to the correct galaxy.
Yeah. Because I imagine they would be stuck there for quite a bit of time before they finally got out of there, you know? Any final thoughts on Ahsoka? In general, we liked it. There's a lot of people who did not really like this. And I understand, you know, I get it, because I've seen the complaints, I get it. But yeah, I mean, I'm just appreciative we got the show, you know? We could not have got it. So yeah, I liked it for what it was. I'm excited for the future because now that Thrawn's back out into the world, should be exciting. That's all I care about. I want to see chaos. So yeah, is that it?
Yep.
If you had to rank Ahsoka, scale of 1 to 10 Mickey ears, what would you give it? I'm thinking about an 8. About an 8 for me.
I don't know.
I thought you were going to say like a 5 or something.
No,
I was like,
I was probably wanting to give it a 9 for its campiness.
For its campiness. Oh my god, the turtle people, the wolf creatures, we didn't even talk about those. Were adorable.
Oh yeah,
dear
I love
God.
the wolf things.
Oh, those wolf things, turtle people, can't remember what the turtle people are called, but they were adorable. Funko Pops. Need to have the little turtle people back here. The turtle people are back here on my shelf for Funko Pops. Okay, is that it?
Yes.
Oh Lord, we can just keep. I keep thinking of random stupid things. Okay, so you guys, have you seen Ahsoka? Did you love it? Did you hate it? If you hated it, that's okay. Just let us know why and have a decent, polite conversation with us. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye, guys.